This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. We have a special show for you. We're taking a look at all the stars who've paid us a visit. And one of my all-time favorites...
Me?
No, but you said that so convincingly.
Oh, I thought it was me.
I was startled. Was Adam Rippon. Wasn't he?
He's one of my favorites too.
He was. He dishes all about his time on Dancing with the Stars, including his infamous castmate, Sean Spicer. Or was it Tanya Harding? I can't remember. Let's take a look. Welcome back to DBL. We have such a special guest with us. I'm so honored. He's a figure skater, Olympic medalist, and winner of Dancing with the Stars. Thanks for being here. Adam, I want to know, have you always been this funny? I fell in love with you because of your commentary. Have you always been hilarious?
Yeah.
Sean Spicer was also on Dancing with the Stars like you were, but you won. So how do you feel seeing him on there?
Here he is.
I know. I mean, he's dressed like the bushes he was hiding in. Like, a mess.
That's all.
A mess. No.
Did you enjoy Dancing with the Stars?
I did.
You did?
I had a blast.
Everyone says that.
I mean, it's just so fun. I had such a good time. And like more than that, when I was there, I just made such great friends. Like my partner and her now husband are like two really good friends of mine. So it was
People say they become very close with their partner.
Oh, yeah.
How about Tanya Harding? Were you close with her? You guys are both
Well, so like in
skaters?
skating, she's sort of like the boogeyman. Where like
talk about that.
we don't like she's not invited to competitions or anything. I never had met her or anything. We met briefly, but she was nice to me. You know, she was always nice to me.
So she was on Dancing with the Stars
With when I did it, yeah. Well,
was she mad that you won?
you know,
She allegedly gets angry about that.
I don't know. You know, here I grabbed the trophy and I went home. You know.
Oh, it's a good one. We just touched base with Adam again to see how he's doing in quarantine. And we also chat about what Olympic athletes are going through with the 2020 Games being postponed. Take a look. Since it's not every day we get to talk to an Olympian, as we know the 2020 Olympics are postponed a year. How would you, Adam, have taken that news, to be super honest, if that happened to you in 2018?
You know, to be super honest,
Yeah.
I would have been incredibly devastated. As an athlete, when I saw 2018 on the calendar, I had been looking at that for 20 years at that point, and I'm sure it's the same thing for those athletes. So I'm sure it feels devastating, and they're probably in mourning over that. But I think that the best athletes will take this, and they will know that it was for their safety, the safety of their coaches, the safety of the officials, and they'll be able to use this as one extra year to be even more prepared. But it's really tough, but it's sort of, you know, in the time we live in right now, it's what had to happen. I think what was really tough was that they really kind of strung the athletes along for a long time.
Yes.
So that's what was the hardest part as somebody who was an athlete to look at and be like, please just cancel them.
I thought he was I really liked him as one of our favorite guests because I thought he was very transparent and real and genuine, and not in that like celebrity way, but like one of us. He fit in well, didn't he?
It's really difficult to go from a job, which is what, as a professional ice skater, where you have to spend so much time almost by yourself, to then come back and have this overwhelming personality that is warm and everybody gravitates towards you and you have something funny to say.
Very much
and
so.
he's very good in like analyzing skating, so he can do it all. I mean, I can't wait to see where his career goes. He's already done everything.
I know. I kind of thought we would be friends at the end, and I was going to give him my number, and then I didn't, and now he's going to see this.
Why don't you just give me your number?
I will. Adam, I'll DM you. Much worse.
Much worse and creepy.
So much
Prepare to be
worse.
screenshotted.
Al, up next, we're throwing it back to when you invited one of your very best friends to come to the studio, comedian Hannibal Buress.
My homie. I mean, we've been together forever. I've known him for years, and I got to say, having him in the studio was definitely one of the best days I've ever had here at DBL. You guys got to check it out.
Are live, and oh my gosh, we've got a very special guest on our panel, Hannibal Buress. And we're all very excited. That's him. So what I really want to know from you is how you two met, and if you can give us like any additional embarrassing info about Al. Anything, Al. You know our DBL viewers got their cups of tea ready too.
I never thought about how we met. That's weird. I don't know if dudes.
You don't know how you
I don't know if dudes mark time like that.
I know exactly how I met Tori Shulman. I know exactly how I met Kelly Schubert.
And I think I saw Al before I met him too. Because you used to open for Jim Norton.
Right.
And Jim Norton, it was at the Lakeshore Theater in Chicago. And Jim Norton, this is 2008 or so, 7. He has a very rowdy fan base. It was the Opie and Anthony. It's like a super. It's a very non-Daily Blast Live vibe.
Yep.
Like it's really angry New Jersey type energy.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to put it.
So the fact that Al was opening for, and just to have to, it's not an easy gig. It's some opening gigs where you're like, this is a cushy, smooth gig. I just go out, do my 20 minutes. Like performing before Jim Norton fans, they only want to see Jim Norton. So to go out there and kill it, I was like, oh, this dude's for real. For them. Yeah.
It's love ever since.
Oh, that's
I
right.
know.
Now we're on the rowboat together in the park.
Who, what?
The rowboat. You know,
I don't get
the
it.
lover scene.
Like when Harry met Seth, like the scene.
Oh, so now you two love one another. I love that. Right, so would you eat this? A company in Japan came up with a new product, and we want to get your opinion on this, Hannibal. Are you ready? It is sliced. It is, welcome to DBL. It is sliced mayo, okay? So Hannibal, it's going to hit the shelves in Japan. Next month, the product comes in 2 flavors. Ew, tuna and cod roe.
It comes in flavors.
Yes. Now, no word on whether or not it's going to be sold here in the U.S., but do you like the idea of having sliced mayo? Like, that would mean it's what, coagulated or
congealed?
Oh, congealed.
Yeah. Hey, it doesn't matter if I like it because the machine is already working. It's made it to Daily Blast Live from Japan. And here's what I don't even ask. It's not about me liking sliced mayo. What other products has this company made? Because they might have already built trust from people, and they like, you know what? That's the people that brought us.
I'm a brand loyalist. Yeah, if I find like something that I really like food-wise, I will continue to try everything that they put out.
I'm a mayo fan. I'm a slice fan.
Would you
Wait to take a strong stance on that.
Right. So there's some people, they've done something before, and so they got some money. They said, you know what? Let's try from half court with this sliced mayo.
Dude, I think if you have to feed more than 4 people, 4 kids, whether it's maybe it's the YMCA summer break, you got 50 ham and cheese sandwiches you're trying to make. You slice of cheese, slice of ham, slice of mayo, keep it moving.
Kitchens, it would be quick.
That's right.
All you have to do, you turn mayo over and you squeeze the bottle.
That's hard.
Yeah, but then you got to take a knife. Now you're messing up knives. We don't want to get into that.
No.
So you got to go straight to just throw it on there. That's right. That's where you.
I would not want to try that. No, I would not.
That's my friend. That's my boy.
That's crazy that he was here, no?
Yeah, it's cool. It's just like you see your worlds overlapping. It's really cool.
I was so scared to meet him because he's so cool, and I also didn't want to let like you down. But I remember like getting ready in that morning and just being like, "Stay cool, Tor. Stay cool. Don't."
That would happen in like a '90s movie where you're like got invited to the dance.
Stay cool, Tor. Stay cool. And then he said hi, and I was like, "Hey!" It was all off from there. Coming up on DBL, my interview with NBC Nightly News anchor Lester Holt.
Who's the anchor there? Wow.
I wore
You're
a
looking very presidential.
Shouldered blazer.
You look like you dressed the Secret Service. What are you wearing?
Oh man, it was part of the FBI. It was one of the moments that made me most proud to work at DBL and least proud to wear that blazer. So we take a deep dive with the Fab Five. Get to know Karama Brown and Bobby Burke from Queer Eye. We'll be right back.
As the weather heats up, many people are now wondering about summer vacations, but as coronavirus numbers continue to go up in several states, what is safer, driving or flying? Let's connect the dots. The short answer on this one is that neither option is 100% safe right now. The coronavirus pandemic is still cause for concern, and there are a lot of things to keep in mind as you make decisions. As one infectious disease expert told CNN, your travel risks at this point depend a lot more on the personal choices of the traveler rather than the type of travel. When it comes to driving to your destination, the risks include stops to eat, drink, use the restroom, and sleep. But there are some benefits. When you drive, you have more control over who is in your environment. And even though you will have to make pit stops, you can limit interactions, choosing drive-through instead of dine-in, and using gloves and wipes for any bathroom breaks. But the longer that drive gets, the more interactions you will have. When it comes to flying, you have a lot less control over your fellow passengers. While airlines have all implemented new safety procedures, you don't know if the traveler in 2A has been practicing social distancing or using a face mask. Also, enforcement of safety procedures inside airports and airplanes has been uneven. But for travel over long distances and with proper precaution, it could mean less exposure. Either way, before you decide what's best, you will need to weigh the risks and benefits of traveling right now. Connecting the dots, I'm Marcelino Benito.
I think we really have to be very careful, because the more that people spew online talking about other people's bodies, if it's not positive, you are perpetuating a culture of young girls and young boys who are going to self-harm. Hey everyone, I'm Sam Shocker. The way I would describe myself as a host of DBL, well, my co-hosts call me like the mom, so I guess I'm kind of like the team mom.
Happy Mother's Day, Sam.
Oh, Mama Bear. Being a working mother is something that's very near and dear to my heart. I have such respect to all mothers out there, and that I love animals. I will advocate for animals till the day I die. The connection that we have built with the viewer, you feel like family. You share things that you are going through with us, and I felt comfortable sharing a really dark time in my life with you. I'm going through it.
I know.
I'm proud that we are inclusive. I'm proud that we have conversations about social injustices. Yes, we always have fun on this show, but at the end of the day, I feel like that we're making a difference. We really do provide a voice for the voiceless, and I'm so grateful for that.
Welcome back today. To DBL, first of all. We're having a really good day looking back at all of our favorite celebs that we've had on the show. Al, remember when Queer Eye's Karamo Brown came to the studio?
Yeah.
Yeah. I played a rapid fire game with him to get all the inside scoop on the Fab Five. Check it out. Here we go. Question number 1. Who is the most likely to use inspirational quotes?
Oh, me. Have you not seen my Instagram? as the person who actually does the mental health on the show, I'm all about fixing the inside, the mind, and heart. I'm inspirational quotes all day long, and the other guys make fun of me. They always come up to me in the morning time, and they're like, hey, friend, how can I help you? And I'm like, it's all right. I'm helping somebody else.
Sounds like me and Jeff's relationship.
Yeah.
All right, question number 2. Most likely to burst into tears.
Oh, our sweet baby Anthony. He is a big crybaby. He cries all the time. He's so sensitive. Look at that. He just looks like he's about to cry there.
Yeah.
So
he's ready to go.
He can't be that pretty and cry. It's like ridiculous.
He cries beautiful tears.
Yes,
though.
he does.
Question number 3. Who would you call first to take care of your little ones, your
Only
kids?
one person, Bobby Burke. Bobby Burke is the only person out of the Fab Five that I would have take care of my children, because he's so responsible. He's also fun, and he's also the person I know that if something was to happen, I could trust him to handle it.
Bobby, I love that. All right, question number 4. Who is the most obsessed with their Instagram
His
game?
name is Jonathan Van Ness. I didn't even go. You didn't finish that question. Our Jonathan, literally, because I'm the one who posts the least amount on it, and I'm also the oldest. He's the youngest, and he's always like, honey, you need more content. Honey, content. And I'm like, honey, no.
Honey, no more content.
No.
All right, he's going to pick up his things.
Yes,
I'm going to say, all right, question number 5. Who is the best gift giver? This is a big one.
Bobby Burke.
Oh,
Bobby Burke is the best gift giver. He actually is very thoughtful about everything he does. He gives you things that he knows will mean a lot to you.
Wow.
And I mean, it just looks, he makes over people's homes in a matter of 5 days, and he does it with such thoughtfulness.
Bobby, really? It's starting to like Bobby a lot now. Question number 6. Who fixes everything with duct tape?
Oh, none of us, because we got style taste in class. Come on. Come on.
0.
Like, we got style taste in class. We're not using duct tape.
I didn't know that duct tape was so faux pas, and I was handed my embarrassment.
Well, that's what happens.
Yeah.
It is.
It
I don't know about the colorful duct tape, though. I don't know if I would go with that.
Would you, if you had to use a duct tape, would you use a color or just black?
Black, but then that's electrical tape. That's not duct tape.
Right.
See, that's how they get you.
Yeah, every time.
I know. Life is a conundrum.
It's real hard, guys. All right, we were lucky enough to have Karamo here because he's a friend of the show. But guess who else came to visit?
Me?
No, his good pal, Bobby Burke.
Yes.
He had an event here in Denver and made time to come hang with us in the studio. Take a look.
Please welcome Bobby Burke. Bobby, thanks for being here, buddy. Just got off off a plane.
I literally just got off a plane. It was delayed, ran here. I walked in the door 4 minutes ago.
Let's get to some of these stories because we want to give your DBL take, okay? We want to give a big DBL shout out to Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner.
Mazel tov.
There you go. The couple got hitched last night in Vegas. This all went down after the Billboard Music Awards. And don't worry, there's a video. DJ Diplo was there and live streamed the whole thing. Let's watch.
With this ring,
I do it.
I do it.
And I love you.
And I love you.
And I thank God
And I thank God
He gave me you.
He gave me you.
All right, I want you to go ahead and give him a kiss on the ring for their 2 silver kiss.
But that's not all. Dan and Shay performed their song Speechless as Sophie walked down the aisle. Joe's brothers were there, but no word on if Sophie's family was there. The couple even engaged, get this, Bobby, ring pops as wedding bands.
I heard, but you know, if you licked hers long enough, like a 10-carat diamond was inside of it.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
She's a Jonas brother.
That's true.
That's true.
That would have been a little cuter. I don't know if I'm with that.
I don't know.
How many
if
licks
that
does it
would've
take
been
to get
cuter.
to the center of the diamond?
No. No, I'm not licking my way to a diamond.
Oh! Bobby, that's how we do it on our show, Bobby.
Blooper reel. That's it. That's what we're doing.
And we're live, by the way, so we can't just cut that out.
No,
we got to keep it.
Why would you want to cut that out?
No one's cutting anything out.
Erica,
I know.
my girl. She's always so composed and put together. When you see her slip up for 1 second, you're like, thank you for reminding us that you're human because you never make a mistake, and
You're
I
not
always
just
do.
a goddess.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, did I tell you I started watching Queer Eye?
No.
On Netflix.
Really?
It's a tough watch for me because it's like I cry enough here.
Yeah. It's
and just like
emotional.
every time you're like, oh, you can see where it's going, and it's just like good people just getting a leg up, and they had this story about really quickly about this young black man that had kind of been kicked out of foster homes and moved around his whole life, and they set him up with a checking account and a new house, and just I was a mess in the house.
Yeah, I have to say, I always say a lot of things happen to change the LGBT movement so quickly in this country and legalizing same-sex marriages. But I always said Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, the very first season with Carson Kressley and all those guys, really was the first time a lot of people saw gay men in their lives, and they got used to it. And I thought they pushed the envelope very far, and I think the legacy is there, and they deserve all the accolades. We love you, Bobby. We love you, Eric.
Come back soon.
Yeah, coming up on DBL, Lester Holt visits us in the studio, and I wear a SpongeBob SquarePants
Look like you just
blazer.
got done yelling at generals.
Fake news. Don't miss it. Stay alive.
Over the past decade, we've seen contradictions about just how much postage you actually have to put on a mail-in ballot. Now, some articles say it's extra stamps. Others say you don't need stamps at all. So what's the truth? Well, to answer that, we went straight to the United States Postal Service. In an email to Verify, they said their official policy is that completed ballots will be delivered to the election office even if they don't have full postage. That's verified. You send a completed ballot, they will send it to the election office. Now, just because you don't have to put stamps on mail-in ballots, you definitely should. The USPS relies on that money, and if you don't pay it, your election office gets the bill. If you're seeing other claims or questions that you'd like us to look into, send us an email. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
Hey DBL Nation, I'm LINDSEY Granger. I'm a trained journalist. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I learned to extensively research. I've written a documentary. I describe myself as the host that will bring a fresh perspective to the panel. I think Tori and I might disagree.
Not a nice thing for the president to say.
Everyone's blowing out of proportion, but that's okay, because today we need that. DBL is a creative, fun, and fast-paced type of show. Who wouldn't want to be at DBL? I'm looking forward to joining the panel and getting into some fun, interesting, and intense conversations. But it's important today. We need to agree to disagree and have the dialogue. A lot of people watch TV and say, how am I represented? DBL is the answer to that question. I'm LINDSEY Granger, and I hope to be your voice.
They say if you get the job you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
And we love that at DBL. We get to tell it like it is, even if things get a little heated.
And since we're always live, you'll always see us 100% real.
But it's not just about what we think. We want your opinions on what's happening in our world.
And we guarantee on DBL, we're never going to hold back.
Because we talk about what you're talking about.
3, 2.
Welcome to Daily Blast Live. Let's get right to it.
Welcome back to DBL. It's time for a security alert sponsored by LifeLock. A woman with dementia fell victim to a scam that cost her thousands of dollars. I'm sure we all know someone who knows someone that's dealing with this. According to the BBC, the woman was sending money to more than 100 different organizations over the last 3 years. The scams ranged from phone calls to solicitors at the door. Unfortunately, the elderly are most vulnerable when it comes to these scams. The woman's daughter is sharing this story to help others. If you think your loved ones are at risk, these are some signs to look for. So there are going to be some unusual recent changes in the person's account, like atypical withdrawals or a new person added, utility, rent, or medical expenses are going unpaid. There are piled up sweepstakes mailings or magazine subscriptions in their home. Those are great to look out for. To protect yourself from fraud, call LifeLock at 1-800-495-8730. It's so funny because I was reading about a book where a woman who is so proud of not falling for scam fell for scam, and it's always you don't think it can be you, and it sometimes can be you.
And also it's older folks in your life as well, because it's not like all of a sudden dementia just hits out of nowhere. Right. You usually start to see little signs, but you try. I feel like I saw some signs with my father. He passed before they could really manifest themselves. But that's one of those times where if you have a sign, just check their account history. Yeah. Don't wait until it's kind of at the end. But just like say, hey, can I take a look at your bank statement really quickly and just make sure that there's nothing on there because that did happen to a family member of mine. So
you know, my mom has gone through a couple of strokes, and she said she'd love an accountability buddy for her, like for finances and to make sure everything's okay. But she said she couldn't remember her social security number, but then she could remember the lyrics from this like Motown song.
Right. She got to put the number in the lyrics.
Yeah, that's all she needs to do. We will be right back with NBC's Lester Holt.
And Tori's jacket.
After years of complaints, Quaker Oats has announced it is retiring the Aunt Jemima brand. The brand has been mired in racist stereotypes from the beginning. Let's connect the dots. It started in 1889 when two men, Chris Rutt and Charles Underwood, came up with the idea for the first ready-made pancake mix. Rutt went to a vaudeville show that year and saw a performer in blackface wearing an apron and a bandana singing Old Aunt Jemima. That's when he reportedly decided to give his pancake mix the same name. And while Aunt Jemima wasn't real, the stereotype was. The original packaging featured Aunt Jemima as a mammy, a caricature with deep roots in Southern racism. A mammy is often portrayed as an older African-American woman who was devoted to the white children she cared for, a stereotype that was not rooted in the brutal reality of enslaved women. The company did hire a woman to portray Aunt Jemima in 1890, Nancy Green. The 56-year-old former slave signed a lifetime contract to travel the country promoting the product. In 1893, her booth at the Chicago World's Fair was so popular, extra police had to be called in to control the crowd. She continued in the role until her death in 1923.
Hey DBL Nation, I'm Stephanie and I'm the host on the show that brings a bit of British sass, humour and pretty much annoyance to everyone else to the show. Who can name all of Brandon's exes?
Oh, wow!
It can go either way, you either love me or hate me, I'm like Marmite. Yes. I'm from England, you might be able to tell from my very strange accent. I love fashion. I am the person that you'll go to for celebrity gossip. I am a big gossiper and I love spilling all the information with you guys. It's my favourite thing to do. If this is my sister's best friend, are you kidding me? I'm looking forward to joining the panel full time with Erica, Brandon and Jeff. They're my favourite people ever and I'm more than ready to be seeing so much more of you guys.
Hey, what's going on, DBL Nation? I'm Brandon London. I told my mom at a young age I wanted to play professional football, and she said, show me. So I worked my tail off. I would describe myself as the host that brings energy to the panel. Are you not entertained? My perspective doesn't really come from a book. It comes from different experiences.
This is that social injustice that Colin Kaepernick took a knee for.
The co-host that makes me most hopeful is hands down my big sister, Erica Cobb. She just makes me better as a person. Not only on camera, but off camera. Don't show her that. DBL is raw, DBL is live, DBL is opinionated, and DBL is what you should be watching.
When all of
this is over and we're together again.
I hope we'll smile just a little brighter.
Laugh a little louder, hug a little tighter.
I hope we understand each other more clearly.
Share more completely.
Speak more honestly.
I hope we give more freely.
Forgive more easily.
Dream more fully.
And I hope we all take a deep breath.
And love each other.
And love each other just a little bit more. Welcome back to DBL. Today we're remembering all the influential people we've had on the show over the years, and that includes one of my role models, NBC News anchor and Dateline anchor, Lester Holt. I like to say it like he says it. We talked about journalism in today's world and the rise of fake news and the rise of my shoulder pads. Check it out. After 70 years of nightly news, what do you think of when you hear the words fake news?
I always fake news to me always meant that you make something up at a thin air.
Right.
You're like, hey, Martians landed. That's fake news to me. The way it's being used now, I'm not quite sure. I mean, because you don't like a story doesn't make it fake. I suppose inaccurate news, when somebody gets it wrong and makes a mistake or doesn't fact check, that can happen. Yeah, the fake news thing, it kind of escapes me.
Do you feel the media is under assault?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's pretty clear that the media is not revered in the current administration. But having said that, I mean, historically, it's always been an adversarial relationship between the press and the White House. A free and independent press is an important pillar of our democracy. You mentioned 70 years. You can't insult away 70 years of building up integrity and trust with viewers and the tradition of excellence. So, we wince a little bit when we hear those things, but it doesn't affect what we do. We march forward and tell stories. And I like to remind people that news isn't always going to make you happy.
Right.
I mean, sometimes
or comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes we're going to tell you a story that's going to make you squirm, or it's going to challenge, what you believe about something, and that's the way it is. Sometimes I'm reading a story and I want to throw my shoe at the TV set.
Have you ever thrown a shoe at the TV?
No, I really haven't. It's not my style.
It'd be like a good fashionable shoe, though.
Yeah.
It'd be a nice shoe.
Yeah.
I thought I was being so funny.
Yeah, and I want to apologize for making fun of your outfit.
Yeah. Why?
It was very professional for that interview.
You lying?
I am.
I know. I really.
Why don't you dress like that anymore?
I will say, in the beginning of DBL,
you look like you're going to the christening of a battleship.
Here, I christen you. I have to say, the beginning of this show, I was all blazer all the time.
Yeah, it was
Talbots or nothing.
Yes, yeah, we've definitely loosened up, but still professional.
Oh man, it has. Yeah, loosened up is exactly right. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone, today on this memorable trip.
Stop throwing your imaginary sack over your shoulder.
Memory lane. You don't like it?
No, no one does. It's not getting anything when you do it.
You want me to whistle?
Yes. Okay.
We will see you later. Bye, guys.